Hello, greetings from Fairfield, Iowa. Welcome back to the channel. Today, it's January 7th, and well, the 12 days of Christmas are officially over. And so, well, if I have any Christmas magic left in me, we can get this all done and get back to work on this cool old Victorian house. Alrighty, well, that brings us to the next room and to our next project. Actually, it's a temporary project because we need to get this clawfoot tub put over here before we can start our main project in the main bathroom, because we need to remove that tub up there, and that's the only place we have. So as a temporary fix, we're going to put this here. That's got to go, and at some point when we get all that done, we can get back down here. But the heat is making this paint. This wallpaper was painted, and it's the heat from the radiators is making that paint peel right off that wallpaper. So at some point we're going to need to address that next. And you might remember our wallpaper still might be going with this, but it doesn't make any sense to start stripping this if we need to set up a temporary bathtub here. So why don't we cut some time lapse and see how easy or how hard this is going to be. All right, well, I forgot about that. They're broken. All right, so that can't stay there. Not if we're going to put a bathtub here. So the theory would be, and I don't know what kind of plumbing is on that tub, but we got our hot and cold, and then that PVC pipe is glued into the drain pipe down below, so it doesn't just detach. So we're going to get this flipped over and see if those will match up. because that was the whole purpose of doing this, is so that we can use the existing plumbing. We're still dripping. Use the existing plumbing for our bathtub. But yeah, like I said, that's got to go. It looks like they just added this from drilling to the floor, so we'll cut the breaker and disconnect and pull that through. So that way we won't have to worry about that. And looks like they painted after they put the sink up. So that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. But yeah, all right. So progress. That wasn't too bad. It was a little tight getting that back nut off of the what do you call that?
Wall?
No, the pipe. I'm blanking on what you call that. The trap. The trap for the drain.
Okay.
And so
That's why you're the plumber.
we will have to get a cap for this until we figure out how to hook it up to that, because I might have one that we could screw on there. But other than that, yeah.
Shouldn't we put the feet on first?
It's a clawfoot tub, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, then let's put the feet on it. We'll put those on that side. You're down with I don't think it matters which one went where. I don't have a screwdriver.
Out of all the tools.
Out of all the tools I brought up, I didn't bring a screwdriver.
Okay. So I'll hit stop.
Cut. That ain't going nowhere.
Are those washers curved?
These washers are curved,
And why are they curved?
so that they match the curve of this piece. There we go. All right, let's try this out. Calgon, take me away. Darn it, it didn't work. Another quick project I want to share. Day after Christmas on Marketplace, there was a high tank. How cool is that gonna look? Need to find us a chain. It's from the early 1900s, and it still has the original copper lining inside, which is kind of cool. I can't hold it there, but anyway, a project for a different day, because well, this tank's cracked and we got to change it out anyway. I've just got some JB weld in there to keep it from leaking, but that was cracked when we moved in, and but anyway, a quick shout out to Brenda and her husband, retired couple that sold antiques on Marketplace, and they were about 2.5 hours away when I contacted them. They were actually coming down to not too far from Fairfield, about 20 minutes away, and so they actually offered to bring this down, deliver this, and that saved us a 5-hour round trip. So if you guys are watching, I want to thank you guys again. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a safe travel back, and that this will be looking fantastic in here. The wood is oak. Going to be a nice match once we get this all cleaned up. So can't wait to get that started. Some nice brass piping in here, and that's going to look fantastic. All right. Well, I have no idea if those work, but I need to find some adapters to run our water lines to, and we're going to need to order, because I don't have a way to hook up that drain pipe to that drain to that overflow. And so I think we can get that on Amazon. So we can probably get that in a couple of days. But I think this is going to fit. So we'll get that drain capped off in the meantime. Get that electrical pulled out of there because, well, can't be splashing around. Have electrical back in that corner. That would not make for a fun bath. We'll get those ordered. We'll get this tried out and see if we can reuse this faucet, or worst case scenario, we just buy a new faucet. But I think we got clearance. Get it tucked in just to that radiator, and I think that'll do it. If we need to, we'd always get a temporary like shower ring or something if we need to. But otherwise, I think we'll have our temporary bath set up, and that'll about do it for. In this room, we got part of the project done anyway. All right, well, while we're waiting for those parts to come in, and we'll probably have those in for next week's video so we can maybe start working on removing that tub, would like to share, we're super excited about all the new projects we have coming up this year, and thought we'd take a look around and highlight some of those projects that we're gonna share throughout the new year of 2026. Starting right back here where we started today's video, in the foyer. You might remember last year, right after Christmas, we wallpapered this room and we made some cool discoveries. We found out that the wallpaper was done prior to 1964. We found a signature from 1945. That was pretty cool. It's actually right back here. But now that we got that done, the holidays are behind us, we need to kind of finish up in this room. We got some, we got to get that wood trim cleaned up and put back up. And we're gonna have some Victorian custom roller shades made for our doors. Get some curtains put up there in the front. And we recently had somebody come by and wanted to know what these were. And well, we have them at the entrance of every set of pocket doors. Anybody want to take a guess what those are? I'll give you a hint. With all the Christmas decorations down, it's time to start decorating in a different way. And at some point, not exactly sure when, we're gonna get the rest of this paint off. And I'm hoping that we can remove this top layer of wallpaper and maybe just expose what was underneath that, at least for now, because we have not picked out what wallpaper we're gonna do for this staircase. Because whatever wallpaper we go with here, well, it's gotta match that. And it's going to go up the staircase and all the way down the hallway. And so, jury's still out on that one. Yeah, this bathroom, still a complete mess. But we started getting some of the paint off. It's very slow going. But it's coming along. We get the rest of this paint stripped off so then we can get down and redo this floor. All right, speaking of the second floor, we have the wood that we can finish off our laundry chute on the second floor. So we'll get that cut up and finish this up. And in here, we got some wood trim to do, got some plaster to do, and we got a tub to pull. Why don't we take a look outside and take a look at some of the exterior projects we got coming up this season. And also this year, outside, we got some painting to do because mostly siding is not terrible, but our windowsills and this, I forget what this piece is called, but this is actually supposed to be a different color. Looking at older photographs, and then this was white, and that centerpiece was a different color, and those are stripes that should be painted. And this piece right here, it's a piece of half round that's on all of the angles that goes vertically all the way up. That's also supposed to be painted a different color. We're going to start painting our exterior. Most of the siding is in decent shape, but those windowsills and that trim and that fascia board there, that needs some work. So we are going to tackle that as soon as things start warming up. And same thing here. All the windowsills. Again. And this piece here, this window for our horseshoe window is actually a different color altogether. The colors were inverted, meaning that those sunbursts were white and this outside ridge originally was the burgundy. And we're going to be repainting that the way it used to be. We're going to get back to this and get this mess all taken care of. And hopefully it'll last longer. Because if it don't, we're going to look into getting that filled with concrete. But we got to get these porch skirts repainted as well. Mostly it's the lower, a lot of the lower stuff on the on this that needs to get redone. I've already started with these, so I've pulled these off and we're getting these rebuilt and repainted. They're down in the basement, and we are finally going to get our staircase put back together and get this all put on. All right, also I have this old black and white picture where we had a trellis here that would kind of give some privacy there to that back side. And so I'd like to get that rebuilt and put that back up. And after we finish those staircases, we're gonna start doing this one, because this is in terrible shape. And maybe we'll remove this and finally get into our milk and ice deliveries and our columns. So we started this last spring and we didn't quite get back to them, and we need to get these stripped off and repainted. They're not in too terrible shape. The one up front needs a little more work, but these aren't terrible. You can see where all the paint's just peeling off of there. And we're going to do all the columns on the entire front of the house, and these all get inverted. What you see that's white should actually be burgundy, and those bases and those rings were originally white. And so you can see some of the remnants there of the old burgundy that's there. Well, that'll about do it for this week's video. I want to thank you for stopping by, and looking forward to seeing you in next week's video.